Hello everybody. Last time we were in the bathroom, you may remember, and we were thinking about what we can stop doing, stop using in order to help our poor blue planet. And now I take it we finished in the bathroom and we all go into our bedroom where there is the wardrobe. We open our wardrobe in order to, get dressed. And that is where the madness reaches its peak. When I was young, I remember clearly our mother told her 4 children, concerning clothes, you only bought something when you needed it. Then you bought something of high quality that, yes, was expensive, but it would last longer, so that is what you wanted to achieve. Which is, of course, the total opposite of today, which is why the term came up, fast fashion. These days, people buy t-shirts for 5 or 10 euros, dollars, whatnot, and they're not supposed to last long because 4 weeks later, apparently, they need a new thing. And since Corona, this has augmented very much because it seems people sit in front of their computer buying endlessly. Now, you can easily imagine, I'm sure, what that means to our environment. But B, and in this case, I would think this is still more important. Fast fashion, cheap fast fashion, only works because we are exploiting some people in faraway countries, both men and women. For the material to be made, it's mostly men. For the clothes to be sewed, it's mostly women. But both sexes here are exploited, and there is no other word for it. They work very long hours. They're very badly paid. When they're ill, yes, they can stay at home, but they're not being paid. And when there's no work in the factories, they're being sent home without being paid. Now, obviously, we shouldn't support this, should we? Then the things are shipped half around the world to reach our market, with these ships polluting our oceans in a terrible way. Now, you will probably tell me that you are aware of this. I'm aware that I'm not telling you anything new. I just want you to think about it, and more than that, act accordingly. So I'm sure you're now going to tell me that you are aware of this, but that when you don't want the t-shirt anymore, just as an example, 4 weeks later, you pass it on to charity. That's what you think. Charity organizations tell us that only a minimum of the clothes they are being given are in a state that they could possibly be passed on to other human beings. The vast majority is in so bad a state, which is the result of the cheap stuff, that it can only be thrown away. Next, you will tell me, yes, but it's going to be recycled. That's what you think. Experts also tell us that particularly fast fashion, the very cheap ones, the material also is so bad that it can't be recycled. So I think we should have to go back to some origin. Next also, one of my brothers is in economy and very knowledgeable. So he tells me the whole thing only works by what is called a mixed calculation, meaning some people who have the money buy expensive clothes so that people who have less money are able to buy cheap clothes. Sounds good. But, he says, if those people who have the money to buy good clothes still buy the 5 and 10 euro t-shirts, obviously the system doesn't work. And something else. Why, and that's something that bothers me, why would we want to have a new t-shirt every 4 weeks? Why is appearance so much more important than being a nice person, helpful, kind, sympathetic, intelligent, thoughtful? And only in second case, it's important what you look like. At least that's what it should be. And you know, when you're still in the procreating age, you know, youth is attractive on its own. Without youth doesn't need a new t-shirt every 4 weeks. It's attractive on its own. And once you're past the procreating age, it doesn't matter anymore. I don't have to make believe I'm still 20 and, you know, and the rest. So let's try and be more rather than appear to be something. Let me tell you one last anecdote. The very first job I ever had was in the fashion industry. Yeah. I was never very happy there because even then, I didn't understand, although then fashion wasn't fast. But as I have already explained, you had a completely different view towards it. And yet, of course, it was about appearance. So after 5 years, I quit, going back to school and on to university from there. And you know what I did? The last day when I came home from the place I worked in, on the last day I worked there, I took my, it was called beauty case. I mean, the word alone, isn't it embarrassing? You know, every woman had a beauty case. It was, I'm sure you know what it is. You must have seen Doris Day or Audrey Hepburn, you know, the beauties of those days with their beauty cases, you know. Very embarrassing. And a more embarrassing word, they were also called vanity cases. Ah, that's exposing the problem, isn't it? It was about vanity, not just about beauty. And so on the last day of my work in the fashion industry, I took my beauty or vanity case, just a small one, and I turned it over, the whole case, over my garbage can, and I just threw everything away. And that was one of the moments in my life, one of the important moments in my life, you know. Anyway, you do with your life what you feel is right, obviously, but think about it more. And whenever you grab for something unnecessary, at least think about it, will you? Thank you. On behalf of our joint planet, I thank you. Goodbye.